This video demonstrates spare Spike Ice Cleats. The company that makes them has over 30 years of experience manufacturing industrial-grade ice cleats and other slip-resistant shoe attachments. Spare Spike is a consumer-grade version. It has many of the innovations found in their heavy-duty ice cleats, but at a lower price. Spare Spike ice cleats may look somewhat like other consumer-grade ice cleats on the market, but there are several subtle features that make Spare Spike ice cleats far superior. Spare Spikes work with all types of footwear, including boots, dress shoes, sneakers, and even high heels. I'll explain more about that later. They're extremely easy to put on and take off. Most people can put both pair on or take both pair off in less than 30 seconds. The patented bell-shaped design at the front of the ice cleat makes it easy to position on the front of your shoe. The exclusive dual pull tab design makes it easy to pull them back and stretch over your heel. This is helpful for anyone, but it's particularly helpful for the elderly or for anyone who has weakness in their hands. They stay flexible at very low temperatures. Unlike some popular competing products that only give you traction on ice and packed snow, Spare Spike also gives you traction on deeper snow, slush, and even mud. That's because they have an aggressive, self-cleaning, patented tread design along with 8 2mm tungsten carbide spikes on each cleat. The self-cleaning tread design is important not only for keeping the tread clean for traction in deep snow, but also so that buildup does not prevent the studs from making contact with the ice. They stay securely in place on your footwear. The exclusive patented bell-shaped design on the front of the Spare Spike keeps the ice cleat securely in place on the front of your shoe. The webbing and straps found on many competing products can get sucked off your shoe or boot in deep and especially wet, heavy snow. You can see where that would be extremely unlikely, if not impossible, with the Spare Spike design. The interior of the ice cleat that comes in contact with the bottom of your shoe or boot is textured. This is important for two reasons. It keeps the Spare Spike from shifting out of position. It also helps to prevent buckling, which keeps the spikes in place more securely. The inside of the back heel strap has ridges. Those ridges catch on the ridges on the heel of your shoe, boot, or sneaker to help stop it from sliding off in deep snow. The housing is made from strong TPE that has better memory than rubber so that the elasticity remains strong over time to keep them snug on your footwear. And you can clearly see how well they stay on. Spare Spike ice cleats get their name because they have a spare spike on the top front of each ice cleat. That's important because losing a spike compromises your traction. Other competing ice cleats have replaceable spikes, but it's unlikely a typical user will have a replacement spike with them. And many competing ice cleats require special tools to replace a spike. Here's what you do with Spare Spike ice cleats. Replacing a spike with Spare Spike ice cleats doesn't require any special tools. You remove the spare spike by pushing down from the top. Stretch the material around the spike while pushing down and twisting. And there it is. Now I might have made that look a little too easy, and you might think that those spikes come out very easily. They don't. Replacing the spike is just the opposite of what we did to remove the spike. Now I might have made that look a little bit too easy too, because it's not that easy to do. And I can imagine that if you were outdoors and your hands were cold, it would be even more difficult to do. Fortunately, the spikes do stay in place and are long-lasting, and having to replace one on an emergency basis should be a rare event. I mentioned earlier that you could use spare spikes with high-heeled boots and high heels. First off, never ever ever walk on ice and packed snow or anything that's slippery with high heels. Having said that, in a pinch, if you have spare spikes with you and the only shoes you have are high-heeled boots or high-heel shoes, you can use spare spikes by using the trim line and cutting off the heel section. Of course, when you do this, you ruin the spare spikes as far as using them normally on other shoes. Even so, it's certainly worth the price of a pair of spare spikes to avoid a slip and fall that could cause a permanent injury. Visit theperfectpresent.com or call toll-free at 1-888-205-4477. You'll find volume discounts, low prices, fast shipping, and expert technical support.